Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, or should I say today's main video, is basically just going to be my review and opinions on update 1.23. Now, I'd say this update really did not get off to a good start at all. Really from 2 days ago when Gran Turismo, or well, the Twitter account of Gran Turismo, essentially tweeted out that they was insanely hyped for tomorrow, and tomorrow came and the trailer dropped for update 1.23, and pretty much everything we knew was already confirmed, with the brand new cars being the Volkswagen IDR, the Porsche VGT Spider, which is a variant of a car we already have in the game, and the Nissan Silvia S14. And essentially the trailer, the tweet and everything just got absolutely ripped apart. People were furious. Now, I was one of them, and I will fully admit that. But, you know, the update dropped and I thought, you know what, I'll give it a chance. And I jumped on this morning, took a look through the patch notes, obviously did the patch notes video. And there was a few things in there that really kind of caught me by surprise. The fact that we had a decent amount of events. We had a single new cafe menu, we had 2 extra cafe menus, which they are kind of what they are. I don't really need to explain what they are, but there was some other events sort of added in, and I guess it just seemed like there was a decent amount of content. Now, you know, at this point I have literally done everything there is in update 1.23, so that kind of goes to show you just how much content really is there. And honestly, I guess I'm here to just give my overall opinion. So let's start with the cars themselves. Well, you know, I'll admit this is probably the hardest bit to talk about, because, you know, on one hand I enjoyed the cars, but at the same time I can see why it's, you know, getting slated, I guess, so much, because they're not really cars anyone asked for. Now, the Volkswagen IDR, don't get me wrong, it feels like it genuinely fits into GT7. It's an extreme car, obviously it's a Pikes Peak car. It is an EV, which will turn some people away, but if you are a motorsport fan or a fan of, you know, the technology or the route that sort of race cars are going, then it is a very interesting car to have. And personally, I love the look of the thing, I love the way it drives. The fact it has DRS, it just feels like a worthy addition to Gran Turismo 7. The only downside being like, yeah, okay, it's an EV, but I can kind of, you know, look over that. And it's probably one of the only decent EV cars we do genuinely have within Gran Turismo 7, probably being up there with the likes of the Jaguar VGT and such. But the fact it's a real world car, and it's not some sort of fictional car, really does, you know, boost it up, and genuinely it is a damn good car. Now, on to probably the biggest disappointment, and one that we've known about for over a week, which really did hurt this update coming out. That is the Porsche VGT Roadster Spider thing, whatever you want to call it. In general, yeah, cool car. Actually, it is a genuinely cool car. It's a nice concept. It feels like a throwback to the Porsches of old. Would I see myself using it more than the couple of times I've used it already, and probably when I review it? I don't think so. It's not a long-term car. Again, it's another EV car, which makes 2 out of the 3 cars in this update EVs, and that's going to turn a lot of people away. Like I've said, there's a lot of people, I guess, purists out there that just do not like the idea of EV machines, and I understand why. However, you know, it's something we're all going to have to get used to in the future, especially when it comes to motorsports, road cars and all that good stuff. Now, it is frustrating that this was kind of leaked, and again, it's a variant of a car that we've already had in the game, and a car that I don't think many people have ever really used. So that is definitely a massive disappointment in terms of, you know, a car arriving. I think if they were going to add this, I was hoping they'd have done what they did with the Dior and sort of add it as, I guess, a bonus car, considering how early it was released. I'm sure they've got other stuff, you know, already ready where they could have just, you know, put that in there, I guess, to tide us over. So yeah, big disappointment. I don't think I'll be using it, although it is, you know, a pretty cool car when you actually do use it. In terms of performance, it's not the best at all. It's very fast, but has the same sort of characteristics as the original VGT, is which is just very kind of heavy, doesn't sort of go where you want it to go. You have to do a lot of throttle control, and it does drive massively different from, you know, standard cars. So yeah, again, like I said, disappointment. Now let's go on to the one that people, I guess, slightly have hype for, and that is being the Silvia S14. Now this, to me, is a good call. It's, you know, the kind of cars people wanted to return, but then at the same time I'm seeing people complaining about it, saying that they want more Group 4 and Group 3 cars. And in my opinion, I can see both sides, but then I don't get why these same people are complaining when we do get some, I guess, more, I guess, classic-y production cars. And I feel like, yeah, that is probably going to be the standout of the pack for the majority of people. The fact that it's obviously a well-known car. It's, again, you know, sadly another Silvia. We have plenty of them already in the game, which to me did dock it a few points, but it kind of is what it is. For me personally, it's one of my favourite versions of the Silvia, or sort of the Silvia family, I guess. So I do enjoy having it in the game, and I can see why people, you know, do like it. But in terms of its, I guess, sort of modifications and such, it's very, very good. It's nice to see that. But again, I just can't sort of put my finger on why these people that want Gran Turismo to put ordinary cars in, and then when they do, they still complain. I feel like some people just complain for the sake of complaining. So for me, that is genuinely a good addition into Gran Turismo 7, and it will probably be one that I will sort of use for maybe running Le Mans and such like that. It will probably be a car that I'll take into sort of custom lobbies and just have a play about with. Especially, it's absolutely awesome and really visually kind of pleasing if you use it at night with all the mods on and anti-lag. It seems to just become a flamethrower. So yeah, genuinely, I can see why it's sort of the pick of the pack for most people. But then you've still got people complaining, but it just kind of is that way at this point into with Gran Turismo. So let's cover the events next. Now, there's a decent selection, genuinely a very, you know, a lot more events than previously. So, you know, update 1.20 came out, and we had, what, 4 new events at a same track that's already been in the game, but a different layout, or layout, should I say. And that was a massive disappointment. Now, there is more in terms of races to do. Obviously, we've got the Silvia Cafe menu, the Silvia Sisters. A lot of people are complaining it's very short, but me personally, I genuinely enjoyed it, and it did give me vibes from like GT4 and GT5. It felt like, you know, a production event. You've got all different types of Silvias just battling away, and it was genuine fun. You know, it's a shame that it is so short, I guess, and just so easy to kind of just go in an overpowered Silvia and beat all the other ones no matter what difficulty you do it on. But I genuinely did find that as sort of, you know, one of the most fun moments I did have while, you know, going through everything that is in update 1.23. Then obviously we have so let's talk about the, you know, the Japanese 450, the FR challenge, pointless event, 2 laps or topless. Do not see many people going there apart from just checklisting it off and just continuing that 100% gold, you know, medal record. I don't think I will be going back. Then we have the American Clubman 700 at Trial Mountain, which I am not going to complain about because I actually found that a very straightforward, simple event, pretty easy money for the time spent there. So it's just under 10 minutes for me, and I came out with about 130k with a clean race bonus. You are going at Trial Mountain at night, or sorry, sort of into night. Sunset, whatever you want to call it. So I genuinely did enjoy that event. I had a lot of fun doing that event a couple of times. And then obviously we have what should have been the biggest event of the bunch. Sadly for me, it's the biggest disappointment of the bunch, that being the World Touring Car 800 at Tokyo Expressway. Now, I have a few kind of bones to pick with this one. There's some really weird decisions that went and kind of made when putting this event in. Now, this had the potential to be another money grinder, but okay, so the payout is less. Okay, so it's 200k as standard, so with a clean race bonus. I'm not even sure because it can get taken off you with that event, unlike the others. Damage is not on, so that's a plus side. Tyre wear and fuel consumption is on. But for me, the weird decision they made was going to Tokyo, the exact same layout. I was going to assume it would have been one of the other layouts, but no, it's the exact same layout as a 600. You know, it sort of goes day into night, rain comes, all that good stuff. And again, it's just sort of questions why they would go there when we have the 600 event that we've all run a million times. They did have the potential to, you know, really make another grinding event. You know, they could have done it a completely different track, up the payout a little bit. They didn't even have to make it as much as it, you know, I guess the other 3 or 4 events are. They could have made it a little bit less and still had, you know, people be able to, you know, run there for fun because it's fresh and new, and it would have kind of maybe carried the grind over a little bit longer, because at this point in the game I think we're all pretty tired of that grind. It just feels really weird that they, you know, kind of do that. I was really hyped up, and then obviously I saw the payout, and then actually went and did the event, and I was like, yeah, this is not going to be one that we're going to use for grinding long term at all. For me, I've done it once, and I don't think I will ever go back to that event unless sort of payouts and such change. So yeah, really the biggest disappointment of this update is that single event, which really kind of bugged me, and it was sort of the last thing I went over and then tested out and such. So yeah, it just really kind of brought this update down, in my opinion. You know, obviously I'm seeing a lot of people say, you know, this is the worst update. Yeah, it's genuinely not. I mean, there's other little things I could talk about, you know, that yes, they patched the tomahawk and the glitch builds, but that kind of is what it is. We usually do find, you know, each update or every couple of updates there'll be a standout car for a while, and then it'll get patched and such. So who knows? Like, I don't really get why they've sort of made the suspension not affect performance points, because surely that's going to have a bit of a knock-on effect of cars being extremely powerful or really good on aero, but, you know, running lower events. So I'm yet to see how that's going to work out long term. But yeah, I mean, in my honest opinion, this is not the worst update. Don't get me wrong, it's not the best update in terms of the cars we were given, the events. Yes, there's a decent few of them, but they've kind of pulled the rug under us and not given us a grinding event when they kind of, it looked like it was going to be, obviously a longer event being the 800. So I guess that's a bit of a disappointment. But, you know, for me, update 1.20 was still 100% the most boring, dull update of the bunch. I really did not enjoy my time with that. I've found that I have had, I guess, more out of this update in its, I guess, first day in comparison to update 1.20. So yeah, definitely not the best update, not the worst. It's just kind of meh, and I do hope that, you know, people do continue to speak up to Polyphony and say, look, stop going your own direction, stop kind of pulling the rug from under us and teasing us with all these tweets, or, you know, the fact that an 800 event shows up and then it's not what we expect, sort of thing. So I really do hope people keep kind of getting on at them, that maybe one day, or, you know, probably it'll be in a couple of years, just like GT Sport was, they finally do kind of cave in and get it right when they realise that they are losing players. And that is a thing, that this update isn't an update to bring players back. I genuinely do not see anyone coming back for this update. So, or, you know, if they do, maybe it'll just be for a day. So that is my overall opinion and I guess mini review on update 1.23. So, you know, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. For me, I'm just kind of meh for now. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Cheers. Peace.